The International Monetary Fund is forecasting an increase in sub-Saharan African growth to about 3.1% this year and then rising to 3.8% in 2019. Mostly, that's because of a recovery in commodity prices. The fund, though, is advising countries to reform in order to shield themselves from future economic shocks. Our Washington correspondent Daniel Ryntjes has been speaking to the director of the IMF's Africa Department, Abebe Selassie.
Overall, what it means is that we are expecting growth to pick up from 2.7% last year to around 3.1% this year and accelerate further to around 3.8% next year and beyond. So message is one of recovery, but a recovery that is still fragile and subject to some risks.
Nigeria is one of the countries that's now benefiting because of the commodity price increases. But yet there are still issues, right?
So, yeah, you know, in Nigeria, of course, before the decline in commodity prices was growing fairly robustly, 5, 6, even 7% for quite a few years. But starting 2014-15 has been really impacted severely by the commodity price decline. The government has been implementing policies to try and facilitate a recovery, particularly the focus on corruption, tackling corruption, I think has been a good one. Also improving the business environment, they've done quite a bit of stuff. But some of the longer term things that they need to do have yet to fall in place. For example, the economy continues to rely significantly on oil revenues to finance the budget.
South Africa has to some extent been hostage to international markets, but there is a story to tell about political leadership changing. How do you assess South Africa's opportunities ahead and its ability to remain a robust and competitive economy?
So South Africa, as you know, the largest economy in the region, is really a sleeping giant, and one which if it got growth going, would be a really, you know, important engine, not just for Southern Africa, but really much the rest of Sub-Saharan Africa. So what you need is policies to, first and foremost, reduce uncertainty around the political environment, the business environment, facilitate more competition in product markets, to try and get competition going to help reduce prices for users, but also to foster new investment. With those kind of reforms, really I'm hopeful that going forward South Africa can be an important player.
And talking about political transitions and how that affects economic growth going forward, Ethiopia is a fascinating place to cover at the moment. How do you see things rolling out? Do you think that the new leadership has a firm grasp on the priorities ahead?
The change there, I think, really has been dramatic, really has ushered in changes not just in Ethiopia, but of course in the broader region. The rapprochement with Eritrea, I think, has been a very important one. You know, the key now will be to build on this and facilitate and sustain the strong economic growth Ethiopia has been generating over the last 7, 8 years. And with more opening up that has been promised by the new leadership, I think the conditions are there for a good recovery.